What if I told you that everything you've ever been taught about success, wealth, and transformation was just one half of the truth? What if I told you that hidden inside your mind right now is a dormant frequency? A powerful mind switch that once activated has the ability to change the way that money, opportunity, and success respond to you. A switch that only the world's most naturally wealthy and effortlessly lucky people have already turned on, whether they know it or not. And in just minutes from now, you could join them. Not by working harder, not by networking, meditating, or visualizing, but by activating a mental frequency so magnetic, so potent, that wealth, success, and prosperity could begin flowing toward you as if you were born for it. You've worked hard, pushed, pulled, you've read the books, listened to the podcast, tried to think positive, maybe even scripted your future down to the dollar amount. You've done the work, and yet it still feels like something is blocking you, like there's an invisible wall between you and the life you know you're meant to live. Wealth, love, confidence, freedom, so close you can almost taste it. But it just doesn't land. They told you to hustle harder, to rewire your mindset, to vibrate higher, or that maybe you just weren't aligned yet. But what if none of that is true? What if the real reason you're stuck isn't because you're not trying hard enough, not because you're broken, not because you're missing a piece of some cosmic puzzle? What if the switch was never outside of you? What if there is something already within you, a frequency, a state of mind, that once awakened doesn't just improve your life, it alters the course of it? Hidden inside every human being, regardless of age, background, gender, or past mistakes, is a dormant mental state, a biological rhythm, a coded frequency that determines whether you attract success or silently repel it. Some call it presence, others call it magnetism. Science calls it the alpha state, but we call it something different. Because when it's activated, everything changes. Not over months, not over 10 years of inner work, but sometimes within minutes. Imagine this. You walk into a room and people feel you before you speak. Money might start to come towards you, unexpected opportunities, strange coincidences. You're more relaxed, certain, powerful. Not arrogant, just aligned. You stop chasing and start drawing. You stop guessing and start knowing. That's what happens when this internal alpha frequency is finally switched on. You see, there are two types of people in this world. Those who are stuck living in beta, overthinking, doubting, grinding, and those who have found a way to access their alpha state, where intuition, confidence, and magnetism comes naturally. The difference between the two, not education, not money, not some inner circle of elites whispering secrets. No. The difference is whether or not the switch has been flipped. And here's the part no one ever told you. You don't have to earn this state. You don't have to deserve it. You were born with it. It's inside you right now, waiting. This is not just about manifestation. This is about activation, about remembering what life feels like when you're tuned into the frequency of power, clarity, and purpose. And once that switch is turned on, there's no going back. You'll start to see the difference, feel the shift, and the world, it will start to respond differently to you. Money could begin to appear in unexpected ways. Opportunities, windfalls, the right people and situations drawn to you like gravity. You'll no longer chase wealth. It will come to you. So the question isn't if it exists. The question is, are you ready to switch it on? Hi, my name is Liam Davis, and a couple of years ago I lost everything that mattered to me. Not in some big dramatic collapse, but in a slow, silent kind of way. The kind of loss that creeps in while you're still pretending everything is fine. Back then, I worked as a night shift supervisor at a packing plant. 12-hour shifts, concrete floors, fluorescent lights. I'd come home smelling like ink and solvents, and I'd collapse on the sofa most mornings just as the sun was rising, praying my 2-year-old son wouldn't wake up for another hour so I could close my eyes. His name's Jamie, brightest little soul I've ever known. All he wanted was to play, to be held, to show me the crayon monster he'd drawn that morning, and all I could give him most days was a weak smile and a promise of maybe later. My partner Sarah did everything she could to hold us together. She worked part-time at a dental clinic, handled the bills, took care of Jamie, took care of me, and still I could feel it, the frustration building in her day by day, the silence between us getting heavier, the way she'd look at me like she was trying to remember the man she fell in love with. I felt it too, because I wasn't that man anymore. I was tired all the time, not just from work, but from the weight I was carrying inside. I kept thinking, is this it? Is this all life is? I tried everything to get ahead. I took online courses, read books on manifestation and mindset. I watched hours of YouTube gurus telling me to visualize success, to raise my vibration, to act as if. I stayed up late journaling, scripting, trying to reprogram my thoughts, but nothing shifted. The debts kept piling. The tension in our home kept growing, and slowly it felt like life was turning its back on me. Then came the night everything cracked open. I'd just finished a double shift. It was raining. I missed the last bus and walked 3 miles home in boots that were falling apart at the seams. When I finally got to the flat, soaked to the bone, I found Sarah sitting on the edge of the bed. Jamie was asleep. Her suitcase was packed. She looked up at me, red eyes, trembling hands, and said, "I can't keep doing this, Liam. I don't even know who you are anymore." She took Jamie and went to her sister's. I didn't stop her. Not because I didn't care, but because deep down I agreed with her. I was lost. I was empty. And the truth is, I didn't know how to fix it. For weeks, I lived in that empty flat. Bare mattress, unopened bills, Jamie's crayon drawings still stuck to the fridge. I didn't go out, didn't answer calls, didn't see the point. The world felt like it was happening without me, like I was invisible, like I'd failed some invisible test everyone else had passed. I kept thinking, what's wrong with me? Why does life feel so easy for other people and so heavy for me? That question haunted me. Because deep down, I didn't believe I was lazy. I didn't believe I was stupid. I just felt like there was some part of me that had never been turned on. Like everyone else got given a map at birth, and I missed the handout. And I know, if you're still watching this, you probably know that feeling too. Then, just when I thought things couldn't get any darker, something unexpected happened. It was about 2 months after Sarah left. I was at one of those free self-improvement events I found through a local Facebook group. To be honest, I didn't go because I thought it would change my life. I went because they said there would be free coffee, and it beat sitting in an empty apartment. It was held in the back of a hotel conference room. Folding chairs, fluorescent lights, the usual mix of hopeless faces and tired ones. I sat in the back row, arms crossed, just observing. That's when I noticed him. Not one of the presenters, not wearing a mic or pushing a book. He was just sitting in the audience like the rest of us. But there was something different about him. The way people looked at him. The way the air around him felt heavier, more focused. He wasn't trying to get attention. He just had it. Later, during the break, we ended up next to each other in line for coffee. We made small talk, weather, the speakers, that kind of thing. And then, out of nowhere, he looked at me and said, "You're not sleeping much lately, are you?" I just froze. I hadn't said a word about what was going on in my life. He smiled and added, "There's something in your energy, like your mind's working overtime but getting nowhere." It was eerie how accurate he was. I asked him who he was. Aaron Surtees, he said. I didn't recognize the name at the time, but later that night I looked him up. What I found floored me. Aaron Surtees isn't just some self-help guy. He's one of the most sought-after hypnotists and subconscious performance experts in the world. He's helped Olympic athletes break through mental blocks. coached Fortune 500 executives through high-stakes deals, and even been called in by celebrities when their careers were falling apart. His name's been featured in international press, TV, magazines, podcasts. He normally works with private clients in Europe, but his reputation stretches across the globe. And somehow, there he was, sitting next to me, talking to me, like the universe had dropped him in my path for a reason. We got talking, and I ended up telling him everything about Jamie, about Sarah, about how life just stopped making sense. He listened quietly, no interruptions, no fake sympathy, and then he said something that struck me. "You're not broken, Liam. You're just misaligned. You're out of rhythm with the frequency you were born to operate on." I didn't understand what he meant, so he started to explain. Aaron told me that through his years of work with clients, those CEOs, elite athletes, even celebrities, he discovered something unusual. There's a mental frequency he noticed in people who seem to attract success effortlessly. Not just mindset, not just belief, a neurological state, a rhythm the brain falls into where confidence, clarity, and magnetism just switch on. He called it the alpha frequency. He said most people are trapped in a constant beta state, stress, self-doubt, overthinking, but once you drop into alpha, your thoughts and actions become aligned, almost instinctive. You stop chasing things and start attracting them. He'd spent years developing a method to help people access this state, not through effort or practice, but through a direct mental activation he called the alpha switch. It wasn't just some long program. It was a precise, guided experience he'd been refining for years. And as he put it, it doesn't teach you to be powerful. It reminds you that you already are. Then he looked at me, dead serious, and said, "I can help you, but only if you're actually ready for life to start responding to you differently." I didn't know what to say, but something in my chest stirred, like a light flickering back on after being dark for too long. We agreed to meet the next day, just the two of us. And that is when everything started to change. We met that afternoon in a quiet corner of the hotel lobby. Aaron had cleared his schedule, said he wanted to show me something that couldn't wait. Aaron could tell I was intrigued but skeptical, so he sat down across from me and said, "Liam, I'm going to explain something that almost no one knows about, but once you understand it, your life will never look the same." Then he asked me a question that caught me off guard. "Have you ever walked into a room and just felt someone's presence before they even said a word? Like they had gravity?" I nodded. That's someone who's tapped into their alpha frequency, a state of brainwave coherence where your mind, body, and energy align in perfect flow. It's not just confidence, it's magnetism. It's not just focus, it's command. Then he broke it down. There are 5 primary brainwave states: delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. He said most people today are stuck in beta, a chronic, anxious loop of overthinking, survival mode decisions, and self-sabotage. The beta state is useful for short bursts, but live there too long and your nervous system stays fried. You can't attract wealth, love, or confidence from that frequency. You repel it. When the brain shifts into alpha, everything changes. It's the gateway between the conscious and subconscious mind. The state elite performers, artists, negotiators, visionaries, and entrepreneurs naturally slip into when they're operating at their best. Alpha is where you stop reacting and start influencing, where intuition sharpens, ideas flow, your voice changes, people lean in when you speak without knowing why. Then he looked me in the eye and said, "The alpha frequency isn't new, it's ancient. Mystics, warriors, healers, they accessed it in different ways. Breathwork, chanting, isolation, but now, thanks to neuroscience, we know how to switch it on almost instantly." That's where the alpha switch came in. Aaron spent years studying the brain's electrical rhythms and how specific auditory triggers could guide the mind into alpha, with surgical precision. He explained something called frequency following response, a natural phenomenon where the brain begins to match the rhythm of external stimuli. When the right sound frequencies are layered with hypnotic language and neural sequencing, it's like giving the brain a shortcut, straight to alpha. He had developed a method, a hybrid of clinical hypnosis, cognitive priming, and advanced audio engineering to do exactly that. Not a motivational speech, not a meditation, but a kind of mental ignition, a way to flip the switch that had been dormant inside me my entire life. Once the alpha switch is activated, Liam, your brain stops looking for danger and starts looking for possibility. The world doesn't just feel different, it becomes different. Because you're finally tuned to the frequency where success lives. When you're operating in alpha, you stop chasing money and start attracting it. Opportunities show up without struggle. The right people notice you. You make decisions faster, with certainty, and the world responds. Wealth flows to those who move like they already belong in it. Alpha puts you in that space, mentally, emotionally, even energetically. It's not magic, it's alignment. I just sat there, quiet, processing it all. It sounded like science, but it also felt like something deeper, like he was describing a part of myself I'd forgotten, but always sensed was there. Then he said, "This is what's been missing. You're not lacking talent, drive, or intelligence. You've just never had the signal turned on. Let me show you what happens when it is." He stood up, gave me a look like he already knew what was coming next, and said, "Come with me." We walked through the lobby and took a private elevator down to the hotel's wellness center, a quiet, high-end space tucked away from the noise and distraction of the world above. It was quiet, dimly lit, peaceful, but with a strange tension in the air, like something important was about to happen. He sat me down in a recliner and placed a pair of noise-canceling headphones over my ears. "I want you to just relax," he said. "You don't have to try to make anything happen. The switch flips on its own, when the mind is guided properly." He tapped a few things on his phone, and within seconds I heard it. A deep, rhythmic pulsing sound, layered with soft tones that seemed to move through my skull like waves. "This is binaural entrainment," he explained. "Your brain is naturally following the frequencies. In a few minutes, it will begin to synchronize with the alpha rhythm, around 8 to 10 hertz. That's the sweet spot, the gateway." Then came his voice. Not like normal speech, but low, steady, deliberate. Each word seemed to bypass my conscious mind and sink directly into my nervous system. He guided me through a series of visualizations, but not vague, feel-good stuff. They were sharp, vivid, and specific. I saw myself receiving money. I saw my hands signing checks, making deals, shaking hands with powerful people. I saw bank balances rising, clients smiling, doors opening. And for the first time in my life, I believed it. Because Aaron wasn't just feeding me fantasy, he was rewiring the subconscious patterns that had kept me stuck in scarcity for years. "Right now," he whispered, "your subconscious mind is accepting new rules. That wealth is natural to you, that you deserve to receive, that money is drawn to certainty, to clarity, and that's who you are now." He was activating what he called the neural wealth loop, a shift in how the brain perceives and projects value. Once the alpha switch is on, he told me, you begin to send out signals that others can feel, consciously or not. Your language changes. Your posture changes. Your decisions come from power, not panic. I don't remember everything that was said during the session. Some of it felt like a dream, like I was drifting between two worlds, but when it was over, I opened my eyes and I knew something had shifted. It wasn't like fireworks or some dramatic out-of-body experience. It was quieter than that, more certain. Like something that had been asleep in me was finally awake. Over the next few days, things started to happen that I couldn't explain. I got a call from a guy I used to work with, somebody who had barely acknowledged me before, asking if I wanted in on a short freelance project. The pay was triple what I'd made before. Then a day later, I got an unexpected refund from an old credit account, nearly $900 I didn't know was coming. Emails I'd sent out months ago with no response? Suddenly I was getting replies, meetings, offers. People started treating me differently, looking at me like I mattered, like I was someone they needed to say yes to. And the craziest part? I wasn't doing anything extra. I wasn't grinding harder, working longer hours, or reading some new 500-page personal development book. Something inside me had changed, and the outside world was just catching up. Within a week, I'd made more than I usually earned in a month. Then something happened that honestly didn't even make sense. I got a notification from my old bank, one I hadn't used in years. Apparently, I'd been part of a class action settlement I didn't even remember signing up for. A check had been issued, and they just deposited $38,400 into my account. It felt completely random, but it also felt perfectly timed. Like the moment I tuned into the alpha frequency, money started finding me. Within a month, I'd built a new income stream from a consulting opportunity that literally landed in my lap. Money was flowing faster and more easily than I had ever thought possible. But it wasn't just about the cash. It was the feeling of being in control again, of no longer chasing, but attracting. And Aaron was right. Once the alpha switch is flipped, he had said, life stops feeling random. You stop surviving and start creating. After that windfall hit my account, something snapped into place. I wasn't just attracting a little money. It was like the gates had burst wide open. Cash started showing up from every angle. I was getting random deposits, refunds I'd never expected, discounts on things I hadn't even asked for. Deals and offers were falling into my lap like I was some kind of magnet for abundance. There was no more hesitation, no more second guessing. Everything just started flowing, and fast. I was living in a reality I didn't even know existed before. And then it hit me. Wait a second. If this worked for me, what if it could work for literally anyone? I couldn't keep it to myself. I thought about the people I loved, people who were still stuck, still struggling, still thinking they had to grind their way to the top like I used to believe. So I called Aaron, told him everything, the windfalls, the financial breakthroughs, how my life had basically 180'd in under a month. He just laughed. "You're not the only one," he said. Then he told me something that honestly gave me chills. I've been developing a way to trigger the alpha switch remotely. Same hypnotic protocol, same deep frequency alignment, but delivered through a high-definition audio track. I've started testing it, and the results have been incredible. He explained how it took years of fine-tuning the script, getting the frequency calibration just right, but now the audio was finally ready. It's the same switch flip I did with you, just delivered directly through sound, he said. It doesn't matter where they are, what their background is, or how broke they feel. If they've got ears and 10 minutes, it works. And then he did something that still kind of blows my mind. He sent me the file. Try it with people you care about, he said. Watch what happens. So I did. I sent the alpha switch audio to 6 people, friends, family, people I knew were stuck like I had been. Within days, the messages started pouring in. My younger brother, flat broke, credit cards maxed, won $15,000 on a scratch-off ticket he almost didn't buy. My cousin, who was 2 weeks from eviction, landed a brand new job after months of silence and got a $10,000 signing bonus. One of my friends opened her crypto wallet and saw a forgotten coin had skyrocketed. She cashed out over $27,000 in profit. Another guy I knew had an ex-client call out of the blue and offer to pay off every cent they owed, plus interest. Every single person said the same thing. Something just feels different. I can't explain it, but it's like things are just clicking. It's like money is finally noticing me. And that's when I realized, this isn't just some spiritual placebo. This is real. There's a frequency, a code, and once you're tuned to it, wealth starts chasing you. And the craziest part? Once I stepped into this new energy, my family came back. Sarah saw the change in me, the confidence, the stability, the peace. We started talking again, laughing again. She told me, "You're not the same man. You're better." When I told Aaron what had happened, how every single person I shared the audio with had experienced life-changing results, he let out a slow breath like he already knew. "This is bigger than you and me," he said. "It's time." We both realized what we were sitting on wasn't just some lucky break or spiritual gimmick. It was a switch buried inside every person alive, and now we had a way to activate it. So we made a decision. No more secrecy. No more keeping this hidden for just a few private clients or elite circles. It was time to make the Alpha Switch available to anyone ready to experience it. What Aaron created isn't just another meditation or motivational track. It's a precise, scientifically engineered audio session designed to activate the alpha frequency inside you, the same mental signal that flipped my entire life upside down. We've taken the same session that changed everything for me and dozens of others and packaged it into one powerful audio file. And now, for the first time ever, you can experience what happens when the switch flips. So today, I'm delighted to introduce to you the Alpha Switch. It's the only audio track that's been developed to activate your brain's hidden alpha switch, the mental trigger that unlocks your natural ability to attract wealth, success, and freedom. And it does so in just 10 short minutes. You may never come across an opportunity like this again. While the rest of the world continues to grind themselves into the dirt, working long hours, burning out, and still coming up short, you could be doing something radically different. You could be doing what I and so many others have done. Pop in your headphones, press play, and let Aaron's Alpha Switch audio session do what it was designed to do. Activate that dormant frequency that's been waiting inside you all along. I don't want you stuck in a job you hate, living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want you constantly hoping your luck will finally turn, only to watch another opportunity slip through your fingers. And I definitely don't want you waking up every morning with that sinking feeling, wondering how you're going to make it through another week, let alone build the life you actually want. That's why I'm so thrilled to finally share Aaron Surtees' Alpha Switch with you today. Because this is your chance to step out of the grind and into the flow of true financial alignment. I want you to break free from the pressure, to stop worrying about bills, to stop working for a boss who doesn't value you, and instead start waking up with peace, confidence, and real choices. The truth is, it's never been harder to get ahead. No matter how hard you work, inflation's rising, wages aren't. Even high earners are struggling to keep up. So if you've been feeling like you're drowning in stress, or like success keeps slipping just out of reach, please hear me when I say, it's not your fault. But now, you know what's been missing. You know about the switch, and what can happen when it's finally flipped. You could be one of the many who've experienced their own Alpha Switch transformation. Just like Zach from Tampa, Florida, who wrote, "I always thought I just wasn't cut out for success. Then I listened to the Alpha Switch. Within days, I felt different, clearer, stronger. Within a month, I got a letter saying I was owed over $14,000 from an old tax overpayment I didn't even remember making. Stuff like this that just didn't happen to me before. But after listening to the Alpha Switch, it was like my luck flipped overnight. And that was just the start." And Leanne from Phoenix, Arizona, who said, "I'd been stuck in the same dead-end job for 8 years. I was depressed and broke. I pressed play on the Alpha Switch and something flipped. Within 2 weeks, I got a promotion. Within 2 months, I started my own business on the side. And it's already making more than my day job." And Chris from Vancouver, Canada, who shared, "I've spent my life overthinking and doubting myself. But when I used the Alpha Switch, I didn't just feel more confident. It's like the world started opening up to me. I got offered a remote job, found money from an old claim I forgot about, and even reconnected with someone who's now my partner in life and business. These aren't lucky breaks. They're the natural results of a brain that's been switched on to its true frequency. So now you're probably wondering, how do I activate my Alpha Switch and start attracting the life I deserve? Well, here's all you need to do. Find a quiet room where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down, whichever is most comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths and simply listen to the short 10-minute audio track I'm going to give you today. That's it. There's no visualization, no journaling, no effort or struggle required. Just allow Aaron's voice to do its work. And once your mind's dormant alpha switch is activated, you'll begin to experience a shift, subtle at first, but undeniable. Suddenly, you'll start noticing strange synchronicities. You'll feel more confident making decisions. You'll notice ideas and opportunities showing up out of nowhere. And money, real, tangible money, could start flowing into your life in ways you can't fully explain. Not because you worked harder, but because you finally became aligned with the frequency of wealth, happiness, and success. That's what Alpha Switch does. It tunes your mind to the frequency where success lives, where abundance finds you, and where the life you once thought was out of reach becomes your reality. And here's the best part. You only need to do it once. That 10-minute audio session is the ignition point. It flips the switch inside you, and from that moment on, the change has begun. But I have to tell you something important. This website and this opportunity won't be available for long. Because of the incredibly high demand and Aaron's strict control over how this method is distributed, the Alpha Switch audio will only be available here for a very limited time. And there's a deeper reason behind that. You see, Aaron didn't just create this method to be sold to the highest bidder. In fact, he's had multiple offers from powerful groups, private investors, corporate development firms, even motivational empires, looking to license or buy the Alpha Switch outright. But he turned every single one of them down. Why? Because once those types of people get their hands on something like this, it disappears behind a paywall so thick the everyday person never gets a shot. And that's exactly what they want. The truth is, there are people in this world, wealthy elites, legacy money families, corporate giants, who thrive when the rest of us are kept in the dark. When we're taught to grind, to settle, to believe that wealth and power are only for the chosen few. They've built an entire system to make sure people like you and me never find the key. The Alpha Switch is that key. It flips the part of your mind that they hope stays buried forever. The part that begins to see through the illusion, that attracts wealth without gatekeepers, that doesn't play by their rules. So yes, this opportunity is real, but it's also under pressure. Aaron is being cautious about how and where this gets released. He's committed to helping people, but only while it's safe to do so. Only while it can be offered freely, without interference, without censorship, without having to answer to people in positions of power who'd love nothing more than to shut it down. That's why, if you leave this page, there's no guarantee you'll be able to access it again. Not tomorrow, not next week. Once it's gone, it may be gone for good. So, if you are still here listening, consider it a rare window of opportunity, a narrow crack in the system that wasn't meant to open. And right now, it's open just for you. While others wait, hesitate, or talk themselves out of the change they've been craving, you can be the one who steps forward, who claims this opportunity before it's gone. Now, you might be wondering what something like this costs. After all, it's not every day you get direct access to the same life-altering sessions that helped people attract tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands in unexpected income and life-changing breakthroughs. But the truth is, this was never about the money. Aaron's mission, and now mine, is to help as many people as possible experience the power of their Alpha Switch. Because we believe everyone deserves the chance to rise above stress, scarcity, and survival, and finally experience life the way it was meant to be lived. So, instead of the hundreds or even thousands of dollars this could easily be worth, you can get the entire Alpha Switch audio session today for the tiny amount you'll see on the purchase button below. That's it. One simple step. One tiny decision. One short audio session. And the rest of your life could change in ways you never imagined. All you have to do is click the button below this video and we can get started. That's it. Just one decision. One click. and the rest of your life could be different forever. There's a quote I once heard that stuck with me. Your life doesn't change when you learn something new. It changes when you make a new decision. And this is that moment. Because what you're about to access isn't just an audio file. It's not some throwaway motivational product. It's a mind shift, a complete inner recalibration designed to align you with the frequency where success, wealth, and happiness already exist. And to make this decision even easier, you're completely protected by our 60-day money-back guarantee. That means you can take the next 2 months to see just how profoundly your life begins to change. How you think, how you feel, what you attract. And if, for any reason, you don't experience results that blow you away, just send an email and every cent is refunded. No hassle, no questions. That's how confident we are in what this can do for you. Because right now, you have 2 paths in front of you. One is the same road you've already been walking, working harder than ever, watching prices go up while your income stays the same. Feeling stuck, frustrated, like life is something happening to you rather than something you're truly living. Or you choose the second path, the one where you activate the dormant switch inside your mind, the one that the wealthy have always known about, the one that lets money and opportunities find you, the path where only 10 minutes today could open the floodgates to financial freedom, where you start to experience strange and wonderful breakthroughs, like unexpected checks, chance encounters, business ideas, promotions, even spontaneous windfalls you never saw coming. In a matter of minutes, with Aaron's help, you could be tuned to your highest self. And as your vibration raises, you can draw towards you only love, joy, and money. Negative energy and bad karma will be kept away by your powerful aura. And the moment you activate your alpha switch, you're going to get something even more special. Because Aaron didn't just stop at the main 10-minute audio. He also created 3 powerful bonus sessions designed to make sure your results come faster, hit harder, and last even longer. The first one is called Magnet. It's a short but potent booster track that reinforces the pull your mind begins to have over money once the switch is turned on. People who've used it say they started seeing cash flow into their life from directions they never even considered possible. This alone is valued at $147. Then there's Momentum. That one's all about drive. It clears out the invisible resistance that's been keeping you stuck. Whether that's self-doubt, procrastination, fear of failure, and once it's gone, you'll feel like you've suddenly stepped into a moving walkway towards your goals. Things just start happening for you. That one is worth $197. And finally, there's my favorite, Vault. Aaron created this to help you hold on to and grow the money that starts flowing your way. Because it's one thing to attract wealth, it's another to contain it, multiply it, and build a life around it. This track is like an inner upgrade for your wealth mindset, so you don't just get rich once, you stay rich. Vault is valued at $153. Together, those 3 bonuses are worth $497, and you're getting them all completely free when you activate your alpha switch today. This isn't just about creating a one-time result. It's about building a whole new reality. A life where you're not worried about bills, where you have options, where you can help your family, treat yourself, give generously, and finally breathe knowing that money flows to you with ease. A life where you wake up excited because you're no longer trapped in the same draining cycle. This is your moment. And whether you realize it or not, every successful person you've ever admired had a moment like this too. A moment when they said yes to something that didn't make sense to everyone, but made complete sense to the version of themselves that they were ready for more. Now it's your turn. You've already seen the stories. You've felt that tug inside, that whisper that says this could be it. And it is, because activating your alpha switch is the single most important decision you'll ever make when it comes to your financial future. You risk nothing, and you stand to gain everything. So click the button below now. Access the Alpha Switch, feel the change begin, and prepare to welcome in a life that once felt out of reach, but was always meant for you. We'll see you on the inside.